And, yep, well, hang on. Okay, so Councillor, okay, well, I'm getting just a little bit of chat here. So, Councillor George, as the chair of that committee, what do you think?
No, I'm not going to support that.
Okay.
That change. So it has to be an amendment if it's going to go.
All right, well, yeah, so we'll move that as an amendment.
Stop with the brains.
Yeah, and Kathy will second it, right? Okay. Right. Is there any other comment, councillors? Councillor Kathy.
Just in case it loses, I know it's not going to, but that doesn't preclude an investigation into gambling because it's in the Auckland Transport's policy. So I don't understand it. Why?
Well, yeah. I mean, I've tried to make it as simple as I could, but you know, it's everyone's entitled to their view. Councillor Kim.
Before we vote on this, Mr. Chair, can I just get a sense maybe from Helga as to whether this is an actual issue or a perceived issue? Are we able to have, given that Auckland Transport have got their own policy, which covers off the likes of alcohol and gambling, are we able to hear of any other glaring examples in our city landscape where we are being presented with unhealthy food options or lifestyle options, gambling, or blatant alcohol advertising on our council infrastructure facilities or services? Can we please give us a list of where these, you know, are the McDonald's signs up on the Civic Administration building? Can we give us some examples? Because I don't think it's a problem. I don't think it's worth the work stream that's about to be created.
Okay.
There isn't anything to our knowledge that is as blatantly glaring as you say. What you may find is just the normal advertisements that you may find on umbrellas or hoardings or that type of thing, where events take place, where you may have Heineken or whatever on an events advertisement where a cafe is located on a council premises. And an example would, for example, be OTS Square, the cafe there. That may have a sign on it in the normal course of a umbrella or a hoarding and so forth. That type of signage is the only ones, but there's no glaring examples.
Okay, well, thank you for that clarification. I suppose I won't be supporting it because there's a big push as we're talking with delegations in the item 15 that, you know, this council's bogs itself down with work and work streams that are not necessarily core business or a priority, and I think we'd just be shadow boxing, racing around trying to find examples that don't necessarily exist, or umbrellas on supposedly council land. I don't think are a top priority for this council, and nor do they reflect badly on the public policy or program of this council. Most people would see them for what they are, and that is promoting the business that's paying the right in different forms to lease that foot space. So I certainly won't be supporting this because I don't think it'll achieve anything.
All right. Well, Councillor Bill, you had quite a common sense contribution in the early part of this discussion.
Well, I won't be supporting the amendment, sir, simply because I think it's not an appropriate time. This work is about the signage policy. We've done that. We're making a recommendation that for the staff to look into a specific area of that. And if this particular work stream wants to be continued, I think it needs to come forward from another area, not this one.
Councillor Alf.
Just based on what Councillor Cashmore's just said, so where, if anything, with this this stream of work can be then put forward to be done? I mean, based on what Councillor Cashmore's saying, not now because it's relating to the signage, but at some stage, and his first comment was the one that was intriguing, and this is why I wanted to clarify things, was that not at this stage. So at what stage should this go to? Where should it go to for some work to be done?
All right. We've got someone waving at me. Who are you, sir?
Mike Sinclair, the Manager of Social Policy and Violence, so I'm the manager that's referred to in this particular resolution.
Very good, Michael. Come up here and give us the benefit of your wisdom.
Thank you, Your Worship, and through the Chair, in response to Alf's question, we have a alcohol harm reduction strategy which was adopted by this council 2 years ago and is due to be reviewed. We're commencing a review for that at the end of this year, so it will be completed by the middle of next year. That does actually identify advertising related issues and what we can do in that space as part of the strategy. So it could be that a more appropriate response would be to integrate a more detailed analysis of advertising signage as part of that wider piece of work that's already underway.
Awesome, and I like the fact that you mentioned Alf. It just feels comfortable. But Chair, as a result of what I've just been told, or we've been told, I am more comfortable now in making sure that the work will get done, and as a result will not be supporting this.
Okay. All right. Now I've got Councillor Penny W.
Yes, thank you, Mr Mayor. And I mean, we have had on this bylaw many submissions, many hours that the team have put in. Recently we had the situation where a health report said that councils should know and decide where dairies are, because dairies sell dreadful things to children. You know, where do you stop and where do you start? I mean, some of us have changed lifestyles and become healthy eaters, but you know, it doesn't suit everybody. And what's a healthy lifestyle? Does that mean we all become vegetarian or not? And sometimes it's lovely, but I mean, Alf wouldn't cope. So, I mean, you know, how far do you go with the nanny state stuff? I mean, alcohol brands and products and brands that give a preference to advertising which support healthy lifestyle choices. I mean, what does that mean? So we're going to actually advertise lettuce, but we're not going to advertise potatoes or chocolate bars?
Okay.
You know, for goodness sake, haven't we got enough to do?
Yes, we have. It's
Exactly.
absolutely true. Look, we've had quite a reasonably well-rounded one way or another, whether it passes or not, the work's coming at us. Why don't we move the amendment first? All those in favour say aye. Aye.
Division, please.
Okay.
Councillors, division on the amendment. Your Worship.
No.
Councillor Nye.
No.
Councillor Brewer. No. Councillor Casey.
Yes.
Councillor Cashmore.
No.
Councillor Darby.
Yes.
Councillor Filipina.
Against.
Deputy Mayor Hulse. Councillor Crum. Councillor Penrose.
No.
Councillor Quacks.
No.
Councillor Stewart.
No.
Councillor Sir John Walker.
No.
Councillor Wayne Walker.
Yes.
Councillor Watson.
No.
Councillor Webster.
No.
Councillor Wood.
No.
That hasn't carried. It's lost.
Okay. It's
Lost 14.
it's lost 14-3, I think, the way I read that.
So, yeah, you're right.
Okay, we'll put the substantive motion, which I think is moved and seconded.
Can I just ask a question around, be remiss not to mention sandwich boards, and just to get some clarification from the officers on that process, I'm pointing to page 36 of our agenda, part 3, specific signage types, portable signage. I appreciate that the committee allowing a lot of latitude for businesses, particularly on the ground floor, that are conforming to the site and size requirements of sandwich boards to continue to be able to display them. But I just wanted to get some clarification around those many businesses that we've all been approached in our communities that might be upstairs or down alleyways. I know there is a provision, as Councillor Wood has articulated this morning, that an application can be made for for an exemption for them to be able to put a sign. I just wanted to get some kind of practical reality maybe from Helga as to, one, how arduous is their application process going to be for those upstairs businesses or down alleyway businesses. That's the first thing. And secondly, after the October the 1st, for those that flout the bylaw, that might be this very day flouting that, what will happen to them and their signages and their signs in a practical sense that do not have Main Street ground floor frontage if they continue, upstairs businesses continue to put their sandwich boards out. What are the consequences from 1 October and what is the application process to avoid that?
Helga.
Councillors, the particular clause is on page 37 and it is the subclause 5 at the top of the page. This is an amendment that the panel had recommended from the original notified version. What it does is it allows, if you, particularly the subclause